According to Samuel's instructions, she was supposed to knock at a side entrance in the alley, ask to buy an egg. She slipped between the two buildings and found the small door, a window beside it with a curtain wide open to signal all was well. After checking the numbers beside the door, Josie lifted the knocker and pounded twice. A man answered, one of the curls from his blonde hair slipping across his forehead, his smile wide.
"I'm pleased to see you, Juffrouw."
The greeting was correct, spoken in a fluent Dutch, and the man was certainly friendly. Perhaps too friendly. She remembered well the man in Maastricht last weekend, his trepidation when she arrived. While the contents she carried were essential in their resistance, most people were quite ready for her to be on her way. She recited her carefully orchestrated part.
"My mother asked me to purchase an egg."
"Of course," the man replied. "Please come inside." Josie didn't move. The man wasn't supposed to invite her in. Not yet. He was supposed to say, "I can sell you too." Or at least, that's how she remembered Samuel's instruction. Her fingers crept down to her waist, pressing against the envelope under her garments as she tried to recall the details that she'd stamped in her mind. Of the dozens of envelopes she'd delivered over the past year, no one had ever messed up the order of their greeting. The preciseness was critical for all of them. Turning her head, she glanced at the curtain in the window again. Someone had inched the lacy material together. Not completely shut, but partially drawn, as if someone inside was trying to warn her. Everything inside Josie screamed for her to run, but she took a step back casually, forced another smile.
"Please forgive me."
She patted her skirt pocket as if she were searching for the coins.
"I've forgotten my money."
"You can bring it later." He glanced toward the lane. "You must come in now." Silly. That's what Samuel had commended her for. If she clung to her innocence, followed the unwritten rules, the Nazis wouldn't suspect she was working against them.
"I couldn't possibly do that."
She giggled and then cupped her hand over her mouth like an awkward schoolgirl.
"Mama said I must pay you first."
The man looked concerned, as if he wasn't sure whether or not he should insist that she come indoors.
"I'll retrieve the money right away."
"Juffrouw." But still she turned away, doubts raging in her mind. What if this contact was a gentleman? What if he was trying to protect her from harm? The greetings were seemingly mundane. Perhaps he just messed up the words. But the curtain. Something shuffled behind her as she started walking down the alley. Was the man following her? She didn't dare run, or even act scared. She was simply wandering back home to retrieve the coins from her mother, praying as she wandered that a policeman wouldn't stop her. Whoever was behind her, she had to convince him that she wasn't afraid, that she'd done nothing wrong. She whistled as she turned onto the cobblestone lane, glancing back over her shoulder. No one was following her now. Several children played by a pond in the park, and Josie collapsed on a bench behind a shield of elm leaves that blocked her view of the house. She sat in that space and pondered, the envelope pressing into her skin. Should she return to the house, or would the Dutchman come looking for her? She wanted to be rid of this envelope and its bounty, but she couldn't leave it here until she was certain this house was safe. If Samuel found her later, if he was angry, she would tell him about the botched conversation, along with the curtain. An hour passed, and she heard a rumble of trucks blistering the street, the squeal of brakes. Children raced away from the pond to the arms of their parents, and these families seemed to vanish into the trees. Josie slipped to the edge of the bench, to a peephole between leaves.